And as we are building towards the SACP's pronouncements on whether they will contest the elections independently, SACP's outgoing First Deputy General Secretary Jeremy Cronin has urged party members to carefully consider the implications of contesting elections on its own. Cronin said this during his address on Thursday at the party's 14th Congress currently underway in Boksburg. The relations between the SACP and the tripartite alliance have been strained by unhappiness over President Jacob Zuma's leadership. Cronin admitted that the issue of contesting state power is not a new issue. However, he said that the Communist Party will have to consider this very carefully before taking a final decision.
2007, so that's July of 2007, at the 12th Party Congress. We resolved that, now so remember, this is in the context in which there's growing dissatisfaction from the side of the SACP, COSATU, and many in the ANC with the direction that things were going. I mean, to put it, crudely, with the direction that the Mbeki administration had been taking us. And so there was a debate as, do we continue within the alliance and do we continue with this arrangement? And so what we said on the election issue specifically at our 12th Congress was that the SACP must contest state power in elections in the context of a reconfigured alliance. So what we were saying is that we are committed to the alliance, but we're not happy with the way in which this alliance is functioning. So we're committed to, in some form or another, engaging in many things, including in elections, but within the context of an alliance that needs to be reconfigured. And then we said at our 12th Congress that we must mandate the incoming Central Committee to actively pursue the different, what we call potential modalities, different forms of a future SACP electoral campaigning. And we said that these modalities could involve either, and we put forward two possibilities, essentially. The one is an electoral pact with our alliance partners, which could include agreement on deployments, possible quotas, the accountability of elective representatives, including accountability of SACP cadres to the party. We send people into Parliament, but do they disappear there, or do they continue to have some degree of answerability to the party? The election manifesto, the importance of an independent face of the Communist Party in the course of elections and inside of Parliament. So that was one option. Okay, and the alternative was that maybe the party could contest elections independently, in other words, under its own banner, under its own logo on the ballot, but with the objective of constituting then after the elections a coalition alliance agreement after the elections. Okay. And then having developed those perspectives, we said at the Congress that the incoming CC should engage our alliance partners on these perspectives. So it wouldn't be a decision that we would just make on our own. We would also engage COSATU actively. What do you think? Do you think it would be useful from a COSATU perspective for the party to contest elections on its own, for instance, but with a view then to coalitions after elections? The same with the ANC, same with SANCO. Okay, let's move along. Now, I've been obviously listening to discussions and debates here at Congress, also reading quotes that come from comrades in the media coming out of this Congress. And what we hear sometimes is comrades saying, we've already decided in 2007, the party must contest elections. Okay, so there's no debate here. We've already agreed upon this. Now, okay, that might be technically right, but we need to be careful that we don't emerge out of here thinking that we've agreed, and we already agreed in 2007, but actually we're talking completely past each other. And we've got attributed different meanings to what we are saying when we say that the party must contest elections. Okay, so I've tried to. Obviously, it's a bit formalistic, a little bit, abstract. But I've tried to position two different versions of what it is that we mean when we say, or when we said in 2007 that the party must contest elections. So on the left side, not necessarily left in political terms, but on the left column, comrades are arguing, we've always contested elections since 1994. The SACP has never boycotted elections. We've helped actively to shape each time round the ANC election manifesto, beginning with the very important Reconstruction and Development Program of 1994. We've been very active in the list processes. We've not got everything that we wanted, but nor have many others not got what they wanted in the list processes, but the party has not been absent from those processes. We've been active in our own right, and also as ANC members, in campaigns. So we've had red brigades, we've often, as the party, gone into places that the ANC itself can't go into, including in the most recent local government elections. So I had the experience and privilege of going to Uitenhage, for instance, and the ANC structures in Uitenhage said to us, hey, we can't get into Dunlop, we can't get into the Volkswagen plant. And it was the party structures that are campaigning for the ANC in the local government elections, but as party, that were able to open the door. I think the same thing happened in Tshwane. Of course, we didn't succeed in winning the election in Tshwane, but there was a boycott of many ANC structures for factional reasons of the ANC candidate in the Tshwane elections. And it was the party that led the process of campaigning for an ANC candidate in Tshwane. And of course, we've secured thousands of deployments as a result. Okay, so we mustn't forget that, with all of the complexities and so on. Okay, but on the other hand, comrades argue, and we can contest the degree of truth, but there's much truth in the counter-argument. First of all, they will say, yes, but that isn't what we mean by elections. We mean that the party must contest elections not as part of, for instance, a reconfigured alliance. We mean under the banner, under the logo of the South African Communist Party. You say we've helped to shape the election manifesto, but the party always gets abused in the process. This is an abusive relationship. Okay. So one comrade earlier in the Congress said, you know, we're married to the ANC and it's abusive. Let's marry the working class. I'm not sure how you do that, but okay. We understand what's behind that spirit. You contribute to the election manifesto, but do your contributions actually get implemented in practice once elections have been read? SACP comrades, you participate in the list process, but you put comrades, you know, into the list and then they get dropped very low down, or they suddenly disappear miraculously and so on. Very true. This is happening. We can't deny it. But of course, let's also remember it's also happening to many non-SACP comrades as well. So we all know that there's a lot of perversion and problems and corruption, money corruption, inside of the list process. And we are not the only victims, but we are often certainly victims. The party, yes, we campaign in Uitenhage, we campaign in Tshwane, but then, and we help the ANC, you know, make progress, but then we get dropped and forgotten afterwards.